center your hand and your forearm right in the middle of the page. You don't want it to shift it off to the side or down low with all this space. Just put it right there in the center. Give yourself some nice separation between your digits, and then give yourself a light trace. Hold the pencil very loosely, don't really press down too hard. Reason being is we're going to erase this line later. So right now you want to be sure it stays very light. Alright, so what we have here is an outline, which is just basically the shape of an object. What we're going to do is we're going to start using some lines, and we're going to curve them here and flatten them there to give the impression of form, which is volume or the thickness of an object. So now that we have our hand down, I'm going to start, let's see, right about here. Then we can backtrack and go forward. I'm going to take a line, and it's going to go pretty straight because there's nothing there. And then once it hits the arm itself, I'm going to curve it, give it an exaggerated curve like an arc. And I'm going to bring it back down, and then I'm going to extend it off the page. There we go. Why is this here? Well, it's like showing something has curve like a tube. So if this was a watch, do another line over and then out. So you could sort of see how this would be kind of a wristband or a watch. It follows the form, the 3D-ness of the arm. You want to do this leaving about that much separation, that much spacing, and it can vary, especially when you start doing your own designs. And you're going to do that. You're going to go approach the object, which is your arm. Once you get there, you make that arc up and then curl it down so it really does look like it's wrapping around the arm, and then extend the line out. Now this would go all the way down, and then it's going to go all the way up. So let's move forward so I can show you how to do this, the finger and the palm. So I'm going to continue here. Now the arm is tubular. When you get into something like the palm and the forearm, well, then the hand, things sort of flatten out a bit because it's just more of a flat thing. So when we get there, and I'm going to skip a few just to get to here, our line's going to go here, but when it hits the hand, it's not going to go as curvy as it was on the arm. So it's only going to be a very broad curve, and then it comes down. Notice it's quite different from these two. It's just more shallow and flat, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to extend it out. Line, but there still is curve. Otherwise, how would you know if it was there or not? Then it curves down. You're following the contour, basically, the way your hand would be. Up. Out. So I'm going to skip a few rows here and get to the fingers. Say my line's going to be through here. Once I get to the fingers, which are also, like the arms, cylindrical, kind of like tubes, I really want to exaggerate my curve. Once it gets to the finger again, you exaggerate that curve, you warp the line, it goes flat again, warp, flat, all the way around, and then out. Next row, same thing. Flat, curve around the finger, straighten out, curve around the next finger, straighten out. Once again. So this is just a line, and just by warping it and changing its direction and its curves, it starts to show you the 3D-ness, the three-dimensional form, the shape, the volume. You can get a sense for the thickness and the roundness. Notice how I really want to curl it under to give it that full round effect. Since they're no longer hitting the pinky, this line stays, you know, fairly constant till it hits that finger here, this one down, and now we're at the tip of our first finger, so it's going to go up, around, and then out. So from this point, next time we get to it, it's just going to go straight because it's not climbing over it. A little bit left here. And that's it. There's nothing else happening with the fingers anymore. So the lines move on uninterrupted. Here in the thumb area you have some change of direction. This way. And this is tricky, but that works. And it's okay if they bunch up. Climb over the thumb again. And out, over the hand, down into the crease, this way. Then maybe another one here in between. See, it's okay to have a real tight bunch. You want to get rid of all this space here. You don't want to just leave huge gaps. And it's okay if they're irregular. Curve. Their spacing is different. So there you go, you can see it. It's almost like something's been draped over a hand. But this is how you would go about it. And you would finish it out. And at this point we would like to go back and erase our original outline, so all you see are these lines here giving you the optical illusion of a 3D hand.